Sunday, October 3rd. Rainy, cloudy, gloomy. I'd say the weather matches my mood right now. Driving to the farmer's market 2 days since being back from camping, and I really don't want to be here. Feeling very apathetic towards a lot of things right now. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still sitting in my chair, staring off at the creek up there in the wilderness. Coming back from somewhere enjoyable is always hard, but I am having some struggles with reconciling the totality of all the information that I have encountered, and it seems like the knockout punch was diving into the theories regarding origins of our human race. And I thought going out to the mountains would help recharge and give me a boost, but it takes a lot to come to terms with how screwed up this world is, what's really going on, what has really been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and then to see what's transpired in the last year and a half and where we are apparently headed, and how many people seem so okay with that trajectory. That really outlines the amount of work that would have to be done. Having to come to terms with the evil in the world and the likelihood that won't dissipate significantly during your lifetime. Accepting that you came to this earth at this time, presumably to be a part of the transition or to help in some capacity, and that's its own recognition. But the near futility of the effort that's about to be put forth, I suppose, is what's the most depressing. And digesting the theory that we were created by some other ET by splicing their DNA with something already existing on the Earth kind of takes away from the special factor we've all been led to believe about who and what we are. All that being said, you must press on. A glimmer of good news as I watched the documentary put forth by Dr. Stephen Greer, which is an exceptional gentleman who's kind of at the forefront of the ET contact scene, for lack of a better term. And his documentary called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And he has discovered a way, like 30 years ago, on how to contact beings from other dimensions and have them come visit you. And I know that obviously sounds crazy without watching the documentary, but I guess tens of thousands of people have been doing it. More or less, it's some sort of meditative technique where you're able to locate them, obviously at the speed of thought, so you're kind of like jumping into the astral realm and then guiding them to your location. And I guess the more people you have focused on this endeavor, and I mean, these have been recorded on film, there's photo, video, it's going to be a lot of different, like either discs or orbs of light, beams of light that come to spend a little time briefly to let humans know that they're out there. They're obviously benevolent creatures, and that's really a nugget of good news, both that there are other people out there working on this, that we are making contact with kind, polite aliens, because those running the show here are anything but. And if they have their way, they would want to wage a war on the aliens, or just to keep us in further control, convince us that these guys are an existential threat or an extraterrestrial threat to our safety, and just breed more havoc. And the one catch to it all, Greer at the end said he thinks it only takes 1% of us to get into this mindset to change the world. And my only hesitation is whether or not that really is a critical mass to move the needle in terms of the global awareness and the global consciousness. But the video was great to speak at the importance of elevating our consciousness, which is really at the core of what Passio talks about. And until we do that, we aren't going to experience true freedom. And that process is going to have to include the recognition that government is an improper form of any established authority, and it needs to go, it needs to dissipate, it needs to dissolve and disappear. And as people elevate their consciousness, there's less concern for when that's not there, because it's currently perceived that authoritative figure is what translates to order, when in reality it's what's creating the disorder and the slavery. And through elevated consciousness, coming to understand who and what we are, what your natural law is, the right to act without harming others. And that's what the ETs are seeing with these groups of people, are benevolent, kind-hearted folks. But I seriously doubt they're going to pop down here and help us, because we have significantly screwed up our world. They probably don't want to get involved until they see a larger amount of us awakening. Anyway, just getting to the market, food for thought. Go check out that documentary, Dr. Stephen Greer, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And I'll be checking in later this week.